Toxic consumer debt is nothing more than financial slavery. And yet, it is one of the most socially acceptable forms of financial destruction in America. And people don't really stop to think about the costs. Let me show you some of the ways debt destroys your life. Number one, debt steals your paycheck. You work hard for your money, 40, 50, 60 hours in some cases or more a week. And yet, you do all of that only to see debt come in and steal your paycheck $1 at a time. Number two, debt creates stress and fear. It seeps into your life. It ruins marriages. It creates mental stress. It robs you of your sleep at night. And the sad part is most people think that this is just a normal way of life. Number three, debt steals your future. That's right. Every dollar that you put toward debt is a dollar that you could be putting toward your future. Saving your emergency fund, investing for retirement, building wealth and cash flow through assets like real estate or a business. So this week, I'm going to show you how you can get medieval about your debt in 2026 and wipe it out. And I'm going to break it down step by step. So I told you previously how debt steals your life $1 at a time. What I'm going to show you today is how to get medieval with your debt. Slash and burn that thing. Show no mercy so that in 2026 you flip this whole script and you decide this is how I'm going to take my life back and get control over my future. So now, people typically at this point want to know, well, what's the system that I use in order to get debt free? I want to know how to lay out my money, negotiate, and do all of this stuff so that I can pay off my debt as quickly as possible. Can you help me with that? Well, I can help you with that, but none of that's going to matter unless you lay the groundwork properly first so that once you start this process, you continue it and you finish it successfully. Now, the way you do that is you have to follow certain steps. And I'm going to lay those steps out right now, right here. Number one, you have to make the decision. You have to decide in yourself, I am going to get debt free. Now that sounds very simple, but it's not really, because people talk about being debt free. However, we have over $18 trillion worth of debt in the United States today. So while most people are talking about getting debt free, clearly their actions are saying something different. So what you have to do is decide. Now, how do you decide? You have to create your why. Why are you doing this? And this is one very important way of working that out. I want you to get yourself a pad and paper, and I want you to write this out. I want you to write my life as it is now, and then draw a line down the middle of the paper, and then on the right, you're going to write my life as I wish it to be. So, the reason I'm doing this is because on the side where you wrote my life now, I want you to write out all of the stuff that is paining you, that debt is keeping you from getting. Is debt keeping you from saving? Is debt keeping you from buying the home of your dreams? Is it holding you back from being a homeowner? Is debt strangling your peace of mind? Is it costing you opportunities that you otherwise would have if you didn't have this debt? Imagine if you didn't have hundreds of dollars going out, or thousands even, every month on debt. how different could your life be? We'll get to that later. But we're talking about what that debt is costing you now. Now, I want you to, on that same page, after you list out all of those things, I want you to write, if I don't change, my life 10 years from now will look like, and I want you to write out that nightmare. Write it out. Nothing changes. You keep doing what you're doing. 10 years from now, you're 10 years older. You have 10 years fewer in your bank, and you haven't changed a thing. What does your life look like then? Write that out. Now, on the right side, I want you to think about all of the things that your life could be like if you didn't have the debt. What could you invest in? What could you save? What could you buy with cash? How many vacations could you take? How much stress would be lifted off of you? If all of these things were true, what would your life look like 10 years from now? So now you're changing. 10 years from now, describe your life in detail. Describe that dream. Where are you living? What are you wearing? What are you driving? Where are you vacationing? How do you eat? How do you take care of yourself? How much better are your relationships without the stress of debt? What are you doing 10 years from now that is completely opposite of how your life would be if you don't make any changes and you just continue to do the same thing here on out? Now, look at those two stories. Which one do you choose? If you're happy, like most people are, just maintaining the status quo, then choose to continue as things are. Just be like the baby in its diaper. It's nasty, it's nice, but it's nice and warm, and I'm used to it, and it's my poop. So I'm going to sit in it, and I'm going to luxuriate. Do you want to be that baby? Or do you want to be the baby who actually grows past their dirty diaper, gets potty trained, and learns how to become a real adult? Those are your two decisions. So when you decide that this is the life I want, then you're going to decide this far and no further. I am changing today. I am dedicating myself to living on less than I earn. I am dedicating myself to not going a dollar further into debt. And I am dedicating myself to getting debt free. This, my friends, is the decision. And you must make that decision before you can go any further. So you've made the decision. If you've made the decision, you're still with me. If you haven't, it's time for you to say goodbye, because you're just wasting your time here. For those of you who have made the decision, you are here with me. Let's go further. You are going to first get your foundation underneath you. That means you need a stabilized cushion. So what you're going to do first of all is, with that commitment to live on less than you earn, you're going to get on that intentional spending plan, and you're not going to spend one more dollar than you bring in the course of the month. You're going to commit to saving your emergency fund, because I need you to have that in place before you begin this journey. Now, your $1,000 emergency fund is the bare minimum before you start your debt-free journey. I would like you to have at least 1 month's worth of living expenses before you really start to get medieval with this thing. Now, how are you going to get that money together? Well, you're going to do a few things. Number one, you're going to cut. You're going to look through all of your expenses, and you're going to decide to yourself, what am I wasting money on here? Where is money going out of the door where I'm not monitoring it, and it's just getting away from me? Because, my friends, what gets measured gets managed. And if you're not measuring where your money's going, it's not being managed. And that's why you continue to stay on the broke struggle bus. So now, you've cut all that you can. You're not going into desperation mode, starvation mode, but you've cut out all of the fat. Like, are you using these subscriptions that you've subscribed to? Are you wasting money ordering Uber Eats, eating out too often when you could be cooking cooked meals? These are the things that you need to monitor. Are you using that gym membership? If not, get rid of it. All right. So now you've cut, and you can't cut anymore. Next, we are going to look at all of our little possessions around us, and we're going to see what have I not used in the last year. And you're going to sell it all. You're going to put it up for sale, and you're going to get rid of it. So now you've cut, and now you've sold. Now you've taken it as far as you can go in those directions. Now you have to go in the unlimited direction, and that is to increase what you earn. You're going to level up your skills. You're going to learn more so you can earn more. You're going to be brave enough to document the value that you've brought to your job if you are working for someone on a W-2, and you are going to then bring that knowledge into your boss, and you're going to have a conversation with them about a raise. You're not going to say to them, the cost of living has gone up and I need a raise. You're not going to say, well, so-and-so is making such and such and I think I should be making the same thing. No. You're going to have a nice conversation with them about where you see your future with the company. You're going to discuss and show how you've brought value to the company. And then you're going to say something like, commiserate with that, I feel that because of the value I've delivered to the company, I have earned a 10% raise. Now you may not get 10%. Maybe it'll be a little less. Maybe it will be the 10%, but it'll be more than the person who doesn't ask for anything. Now that's your job earnings increase. What about leveraging your skills to start a side hustle that will increase your earnings? In other words, what do you do at work that you could do from 5 to 9? So you're doing your 9 to 5. What can you do from 5 to 9 with those same skills to get paid by people for what you know, for what you're good at? What are some interests that you have? What are some areas of expertise, life experience that you have that you could take and leverage and package up into an offering that you could give to other people to make their lives easier? This is how you increase your earnings. And once you do that, my friends, now you have the money and the stability to proceed forward with your plan. The final step in your plan is your debt snowball. So you've got your spending plan together. You've got your cash together to stabilize yourself before you begin this journey. Now you're going to begin your debt snowball. First stage of the debt snowball is you're only paying minimums on everything. There is no extra going here, no extra going there. You're only paying minimums on everything. You've previously made the decision, I'm not going any further into debt. So you've got that down. Now, you are going to line up all of your debts, smallest to largest, paying only the minimums, but then you're going to take your 10% that I tell you in my 70-10-10-10 spending plan. You are going to take the 10% that you put towards your debt snowball and you're going to throw that on the smallest debt. And you're going to win with that. Once that's gone, you're going to roll that over to the next debt. Each time the snowball gets bigger and bigger, each time a larger and larger debt gets knocked out, and your confidence grows and your wins come faster and faster and faster. And this, my friends, is your plan for getting debt free. So you've got your plan, on to the next step. So now you're in the third leg of your debt-free journey. And this is where you do the work, right? Because you can start off and you can get all happy about it, but unless you stay grounded and you do the work, none of this is going to happen for you. So, number one, you are going to pay the amounts that you owe every month to every debtor. That's the minimum for everybody except for the smallest one. You're actually going to do that every month without fail. Number 2, you are going to commit yourself to save rather than swipe. So this is save versus swipe. What does that mean? That means if you see something you want and you don't have the money for it, you're not going to swipe and get it and put yourself further into debt. You are going to save up for it. Remember when we were kids, when we got allowances and we had to save up for stuff? Well, we're going to take it back, way back in the time. And we are going to save up for the things we want rather than swipe and go into more toxic debt. Because you can't dig yourself out of debt when you're constantly piling more dirt into the hole. Got it? Good. Now, you are going to keep this principle in mind as you proceed along your debt snowball. There are going to be things that come up that are going to warrant pausing your debt snowball. When I say pause, that means you're going to continue to pay the minimums on everything, but you're just going to take that extra 10% or more that you scrape together to put on your debt snowball, your smallest debt, and you're going to save that away. Now, what are some things that would cause you to pause your debt snowball? Pregnancy. You got to have money set aside if you guys get pregnant. Got to put that money aside because you don't know what's going to happen. There'll come a point where she cannot work anymore, and there may come a time where she's bedridden due to complications from the pregnancy. Other thing that might come up is a job furlough. If you work for the government, pause your debt snowball. Well, during this time, because there's going to be future times over and over again where they just don't pay you. So you know this is coming. When the furloughs come, pause your debt snowball. They're talking around the water cooler at work. It's gossip at first, but now you begin to see, no, this is probably going to happen. We're going to lose our jobs here. Pause your debt snowball. Sock that money aside because you're going to need that money to get yourself through the upcoming period of unemployment. Meanwhile, get busy finding another job or another source of income. Next thing you're going to do in this journey, you're going to actively celebrate your wins. So that means that once you knock out that first debt, celebrate, plan ahead. Tell me what that looks like. Figure it out, write it down, and say to yourself, this is what I'm going to do when I pay off my first debt and get my first win. You don't have to get all extravagant. We're not going to Bali when you pay off your first debt. You're going to order a pizza. You're going to go out to dinner. You're going to go see a movie or whatever. Within reason, you're going to celebrate. And that is how you're going to keep yourself motivated as you continue on in your debt-free journey. The last thing I want you to keep in mind as you work this plan toward debt freedom is keep the vision fixed firmly in mind. You have to continue to reflect on that side of the page where you wrote out what your life is going to look like, how great it's going to be when you are debt free. Because if you don't keep your why fixed firmly in mind, without the why, you're just going to end up with the cry. That's right. The why is going to keep you from the cry. The why keeps you motivated and keeps you going. It gives you a reason to keep doing this when times get hard, when you begin to doubt. You know your why is telling you, I'm doing this for this better life that I outlined. Without the why, you enter the cry. The cry is, I can't do this. This is too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to give in and live life like an undisciplined child and just do what I want to do. I'm a baby. I can't do this. No, you stay away from the cry. This is not you. You're a big boy. You're a big girl. You're going to put your big boy or big girl pants on and you're going to do this because you got a strong enough why. Otherwise, your cry is going to lead you to quitting and disaster. And that, my friends, is how you get debt-free in 2026. You've got your decision. You've got your plan, and now you work that plan. Those 3 steps are going to get you debt-free. Okay, so I've laid it out for you. That's your 3-step debt freedom plan. I hope you found this information helpful, but it's no good to you unless you put it into practice. So work it, do it, make it your own, and get yourself committed to being debt-free in 2026. Now, if you would like some guidance with this, if you feel that you need some kind of accountability, a more personalized plan, I can help you with that. First, you can schedule free time with me on my website at intentionalmoneysolutions.com, right there at the top. Or you can join Money Hero Club, where we meet every week and talk about this and other money things. How do you spend and live a rich life while you're on your debt-free journey? How do you manage credit responsibly? How do you save? How do you invest? How do you have good relations in your relationship, in your marriage, while you're on this debt-free journey, or while you're just doing this thing called life together? How do you communicate? These are all kinds of things that we discuss, along with starting side hustles and making extra money. These are the things that will help you to stay on track and keep going when you have a community that is behind you and with you, beside you, to help you get through this thing called money. Because we're not born with the skill to handle it. It's a learned skill. But because you can learn it and do it. All right, guys, I have faith in you. And remember, no one's coming to save you, so you've got to be your own money hero. That's it for today. Have a great one. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon.